Hello, thank you for joining me. My name is Amber Moore, and you're listening to Real Boys Talk. We are launching this podcast so to be able to explore many topics and subjects through the eyes of a stud, this stud. Now, many studs and many people that are listening aren't always going to agree with what I have to say or the topics that I choose to talk about, but many of you will. And the key to this is take this conversation that I'm having with you offline. I hope you will enjoy today's topic because it is going to be a series, okay? So we are doing a couple of things that are going to help build us to be better people, better studs, better masculines, doms, aggressives, whichever your label is or is not. Now, I do have a disclaimer to this whole show. First of all, you got to remember, this show is through the eyes of a stud, this stud. So my viewpoints are going to come through. So I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm not going to be careful about my language. I'm going to be real. So what does that mean? That means if you don't like certain people saying certain things, this might not be the show you want to listen to me. And if you know me, I'm going to talk mad shit a lot. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give you some hard facts, some history, and I'm going to put some people in front of you that are experts in their field to help guide you to be a better person. So let's get this show on the road. Let's get started with our first episode. Today, we're going to talk about unpacking your parachute. This is going to be a series, but to get started in the series, we must first look at our parachute and unpack it, okay? And from there, we will move into packing our parachute. But first, let's pay some bills. This show is being sponsored by Real Boys Talk Inc. Real Boys Talk is a nonprofit that is for African American masculine identified gay females and their wellness. The mission of this organization is to educate and bring awareness of health disparities among African American masculine identified gay females and to create a space of positive energy, positive images, positive health among the African American masculine identified gay female. For more information, please go to www.realboystalk.org. All right, so let's get started. Unpacking your parachute. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm glad you asked. We are coming up to the end of 2019 and about to venture into what? 2020. I want you to take a moment and just take a deep breath, breathe out, and think about 2019. Let's look back at it. If you will, some of the things you're going to need for this particular episode is going to be a notepad and a pen. Just to take down a few notes just so that you don't forget, okay? So what we're going to do is I want you to think about this year. Have you accomplished the goals that you wanted to accomplish? Are you where you wanted to be? When you started this year, what did you think 2019 was going to do or be for you? And has it matched up to that? All right? Take that. We're going to put a pin in it. So we put a pin in that. Now, one of the other things that we need to realize is that we carry what I call a parachute, which is your bag of stuff, right? Normally, you have several things in your bag. For example, you're going to have your career, you're going to have relationships, you're going to have image, you're going to have health, and you have spirituality. Those are the 5 things that we're going to unpack in our parachute. So, as we open up our parachute, we notice that we could be missing one of those 5, or we have all 5 of those and a bunch of other stuff. And the things that we think are in there are not. They're not in there at all. So we got to figure out, where did they go? Did we ever have them? If you have never unpacked your parachute, it could be very heavy, okay? So another way of looking at this is we only have less than really 2 months before 2020 comes in. So what we want to do is unpack our parachute, clean it out, and get ready to pack it for 2020, okay? One of the things that I always talk about is reinventing myself, which is also preparing myself for a new venture. Or I'm looking at, I need to change stuff. Some people will do this by getting their hair cut. Some people will say, I'm going to let my hair grow. There's all different things that everybody uses to go into this reinventing, this unpacking my parachute, this preparing for a new year. All right? So when we start unpacking our parachute, as I mentioned, you're going to be missing some things. Let's talk about what you could be missing. As we're unpacking, we notice that, one, we got a bunch of stuff that don't look like ours. I'm going to give you an example. All of us have either our grandmothers or we have this auntie that carries this huge pocketbook. Now, yes, I'm old, so I'm going to take the word pocketbook. She has this purse or pocketbook, whichever one you want to use. It's humongous. It's like a piece of luggage. When she opens it, you're going to see old receipts. You see some candy in there, old candy. She got a pack of new candy. She gonna have some gum in there. She got some old gum. She got pills. She got pill bottles that are empty that she used to take them pills. She don't take those pills no more. She got her husband's pills in there. Some he don't take no more. Just all kinds of stuff. See what I'm saying? So in our parachute, we notice we got other people's stuff. So before we can figure out what's missing and what we do have that's supposed to be in there, which is our 5 items of health, image, relationship, career, and spirituality, we notice we got other people's stuff in here. How do you get other people's stuff? Very simple. When you have friends and we are all had contact with other people, whether it's at our job we got friends, or we associate with a group of people, or we're in, a fraternity, or we're in a sorority, or we have sisters, we got nieces, we got nephews, we got mamas, daddies, anybody that we come in contact with that either has some effect on us in terms of we've listened to their problems, okay? So now we might give them advice, but we took some of their problem and put it in our bag, okay? We put it in our parachute. Or we have a partner. When you have a partner, you're going to take away what you don't want them to have to deal with, right? You don't want them to stress. So if your wife, has a bad day, or your girlfriend has a bad day, you want to make her feel good. So you're going to take what she's been feeling bad about, whatever that is. It could be that her boss got on her nerves, or that she just worked her behind off today. That whatever it is, you're taking that and we're giving her something positive, right? So you got to take that and you put it in your parachute, but you never thought about how to get rid of it. That you didn't even think that you were carrying it with you. Just noticed over time that parachute got heavy because you're taking on other people's stuff. Now, some people will say, hey, I go to church every Sunday. And I'm going to tap on this. Is that, yes, we go to church to want to fellowship among those that have the same views that we have when it comes to that particular religion. So we come together to kind of fellowship. In doing that, we realize that what's supposed to happen is on Sunday, you're going to give everything to your God. Okay, we give everything to God. We give him all our problems, all the things that we carried from the week. We give it to him. That allows us to do what? Have an empty bag so that we can go out there on Monday and we ready, right? We got that energy. That's what's supposed to happen. That is the purpose of we're empty when we walk into church, but we carry all the things that we did throughout the week to give to God so that God can refill us, to fill us back up, right? You ever heard people say, oh, I was so full when I left church. It is not because they ate, literally. It's because the Lord filled them back up, put them on, gave them new armor, cleaned up the armor that they had, took that armor that they had that was dented and beat up. He took that from them and gave them better armor. So they're ready to go out there and conquer the world. Some people say that I go to Bible study to kind of re-up a little bit. And then I'm ready for the next couple of days until I can get into church, until I can get there on Sunday and get that full cleansing and that full re-upping and that fullness again and get new armor. That's what we're doing. Okay, so take that and think about that as your spirituality on some of the things I'm going to talk about later. Okay, so moving on. So we are looking into our parachute and we realize that energy is missing, creativity is missing, motivation is missing, sometimes self-esteem, compassion, and humility, or even humanity is missing. Why is that? Well, a lot of times we have people around us that suck us dry. I'm just going to be real. You got that one homegirl that calls you all the time. She ain't got nothing but problems. Why? For whatever's going on in her life. She call you and she sucks you dry. When you get off the phone, you like, oh, I need a nap. Or I need some coffee. Or I need to do something. I need whatever. You have a boss that works the dog breaks off you. That's sucking you dry. That's taking your motivation. Because you get up every day and you're like, oh, here I go, and let me go. You might be motivated. I got 15 things I got to get done today. But then you get to work, your boss got 20 that she thought about before and didn't even tell you that she thought about them. She just all of a sudden, here's 20 more things I need to do on top of the 15 you already got. So that kills your motivation. That means that when you think there's things that you need to do for yourself, i.e. your health, working out, living better, being healthier, sometimes your job, your children, your spouse, your girlfriend, whomever, they drain that from you. Okay, self-esteem is another thing that will happen. If you're with somebody that always downs you, that's all you hear is negativity, negative things about yourself. They're taking your self-esteem out of your parachute, and that's something that you look and you don't have it. But you got all they crap in your bag, so we're gonna get rid of all their crap. How do we do that? We have to sit in unpacking our parachute. That means we have to be real about. Make a list of the people that are in your circle, and what do they bring to the table? What do they take from the table? Because if they bring something to the table, is that what you need? Okay, and if they take something from the table, are they giving you, when you say this is, they give me something at the table, is it what you need when they take from the table? Okay, so you got to make sure that when you're giving something, if I give you my motivation, are you giving me energy? Are you giving me creativity? Are you having compassion for me? Because I'm giving you something. Now, what are you giving me back? Now, a lot of times you're giving, you ain't got nothing back. That's why you're missing these items, some of these items in your bag, right? Now, we notice that we have health, image, relationship, career, and spirituality. Some of us are missing those, okay? But you got to make your list. You got to say, am I missing? What am I missing? Because that's going to tell us as we go into the series of packing our new parachute for 2020, it's going to tell us what we need to do. How do we need to actually get this going? Okay? How do we get ready? But you got to know what you're missing. What are we missing and what do we have too much of? Okay? If you got a lot of other people's stuff and you ain't got nothing for yourself, that's a hint for itself that you do a lot for others, and is there anyone holding you up? Because this is something that was told to me and it has stuck with me, is that people that we see as leaders, okay, or people that we see always got a smile on their face or always have positive things to say, right? We don't ever think that they need anything. And that's not true. Those of us that are leaders, I can tell you now, we might not say it, but yeah, we need somebody to hold us up because we holding up the world. A lot of us got the right hand and the left hand holding up the world, but there's nobody holding us up. So sometimes we need somebody to recognize that. And that's how you're going to recognize it, by you unpacking. It's also going to tell you what you need from the people that are around you. Okay. And it's also going to tell you who you need to get rid of in that circle of people around you. Because everybody is not, as we have all been told, everybody's not down for you. Some people want you to make it because they know you're going to bring them up. Some people don't want you to make it. They just want to be there to keep you down. And we have to recognize that. And we're going to talk about that as we get more into relationships in another series, okay? As we move along in packing our parachute. But right now we unpacking, all right? So all of this I tell you, I'm going to go through the different areas so you can kind of see what you need to look at. As I mentioned, you need to get you a notebook, your own notebook. Get you your pen, and you need to take down the 5 areas that you need to make sure are definitely in your parachute. Because if you develop those, the creativity, the motivation, the self-esteem, the compassion, and the energy will all fall in as well. We will re-up, so to speak, and put those in that parachute for 2020. All right. So let's look at health. Health, you need. A lot of people always say to me, I hear it all the time because I used to work for GNC. I used to be a store manager for GNC. Loved my customers. But I always heard them say that, the basic thing is, ooh, next year, I'm starting a new year, I'm going to lose weight. Let's switch the wording. Let's take out lose weight and let's replace it with healthy living. You know why I say that? Because when I say lose weight, you stress. Your whole body tenses up. You get nervous. You start to sweat. You're like, oh man. Because in your mind, that means you gotta stop eating what you like, eat stuff you don't like, kale, and have all these smoothies that you don't think taste good. You got to do protein and all this. Got to eat them nasty protein bars that taste like cardboard. And now I've stressed you. Then you got to go work out. Oh, I got to go buy me some new gym clothes. I can't just walk in there with the tattered up shirt and the beat up, sweatpants. And I got to look like something. Then I got to go buy a membership. See how I just stressed you totally out, completely out. So we're going to reinvent this. We're going to because see, it's all about verbiage. A lot of things that we're going to talk about will give you clarity because I'm going to use a different verbiage. Or as Dr. Phil says, I'm going to put some verbs in my sentence. There you go. I like when he says that. So with health, we are no longer going to say we want to lose weight because we don't. We don't want to lose weight. I know you all just said, what? If she could see my face. she would understand that that is not right. I do want to lose weight. No, don't want to lose weight. You want to live healthy. You want to now change your mindset to now I want to live healthy. Okay, what does that mean? That means that the goals that you're going to set, because that's what's part of pack, getting prepared to pack. We want to look at what are we doing? What did we do in 2019 for health? Most of us did absolutely zero, zilch, not a damn thing. Do you know why? Because we got stressed out at work. We got stressed out with our mamas and daddies. We got stressed out with our sisters, brothers. We got stressed out with whatever was around us in our life. We got stressed out. And when you get stressed out, health is the last thing you think about. But your stressing out is going to totally affect your health. And I am a witness to this. I say that because I live every single day with migraines and anxiety, okay? And I just got to a point where I can now say depression is also in that statement as well now. We're going to talk about that when we do the health end of this. Because each segment that I'm going to do for you to pack your parachute is going to be health. One will be on health, one will be on image, one will be on relationships, one on career, and one on spirituality. And I'm going to pull some experts in to help me help you. And that's going to help me. Because I want you to understand when it comes to through the eyes of a stud, I'm taking what I'm telling you and I'm doing it with you. I'm not just saying do this, do this, do this. I'm doing it with you. So next time we talk on the next podcast and we talk about what we've realized and where we are to get prepared to pack our parachute, guess what? I'll have a list and I'll have this done as well. So when I tell you you got homework, please believe I do too. Okay? And I feel like that's the way we're going to be able to be better people. All right. And like I said, you can take this podcast and apply it to anybody you know. But please note, I'm talking to my masculines. I'm talking to my studs. I'm talking to you, those masculine, if you got masculinity in your definition, if you consider yourself masculine of center, a stud, a dom, an aggressive, a boy with an eye, this is for you. Okay. Now, if you pass it on to someone else that's not identified under that rim, it's not a problem because they can still benefit from what I'm saying, okay? So, what are we going to do with health? That means we need to think about what exactly did we do this year? What were we trying? What was our goal when we walked into 2019, okay? Did we meet it? Why didn't we meet it? What went on throughout the year to get us to the point where we are now that we didn't meet those goals? I promise you, I did not meet my goals for health. All right. But I did learn about myself. Okay. This year, I learned my anxiety got so bad and my stress levels got so bad that depression came in. I still function. I still am able to get up every day. I'm not one of those people. I'm not depressed where I'm stuck in my bed and can't get out and I'm woe is me. No, my depression came with no energy. It came with the blockage of my creativity. It came with me not being able to complete the tasks that I needed to complete. It came into me being procrastinating on things I needed to get done right away. Things that people have been waiting on for me. Things that I couldn't get to. But guess what? I found some help because I'm telling you, there's some people out there you don't even realize are talking to you. Okay? I got a statement to go with that too as we go further down, as we get further into the show. But now, so that's what you need to do with your health. What else happens? And one of the things with health is the other four entities will affect it. The image, relationship, career, and spirituality all go into one. So if you're wondering why, when you started January 1, you started working out, you started losing weight, but you all of a sudden you hit a wall, this is why. This is why, because you cannot live healthy, okay, if you do not have the image, relationship, career, spirituality all intact. You are not a one-sided person. So why would you think that losing weight, as you wanted to say, and I say living healthy, why would you think that's one-sided? It's not. You're a multidimensional person. As many of us who I know in my circle wear many hats. I personally wear several hats. More than several. I wear a lot of hats. Okay, so I know I'm not just one-sided, okay? That's what you got to look at. That you are not just, I want to lose weight. So that one goal that you had is affected by the entire circle of who you are. Everything affects that. So take that, listen to what I'm saying when I say that you wanting to lose weight was affected why you didn't lose weight was affected by the fact of the different other 4 elements in your bag, in your parachute, right? And on top of it, you ended up having other people's stuff in your bag, and you also gave away some stuff. Some stuff you didn't even know you gave away. You just opened up the bag and people just took what they wanted, right? So let's look at image. Image. I know I'm looking at myself. I'm 5'1", okay, and I weigh 186 pounds, okay. I am considered in the medical field as being obese. I will take that. I do the weight size I'm supposed to be is 127. I will look like a crackhead. I will, in my mind, and for me, for my own self, image, and for my own inspiration and my motivation, that's not where I want to be. I don't want to be 127. I don't want to be small. Okay, I'm short. So I also have to look at the fact that the image that I want, I might not be able to wear. I have to understand what my body frame is. And that's something that a lot of us as studs don't even look at, don't even think about. So let me say this. You don't only have to look at image. I want you to go, and this is what I do, right? Is looking at your image. When we look at our image, we want to look at not just what I like. What would I like to wear? So I have to look at all of those different things and things that I like. And I also have to know, one, I'm 186 pounds, right? I'm 5'1". I'm short, right? I can't wear everything that everybody else can wear because it's not going to look right on me, right? So I have to, one, put some of my health goals together that are going to fit with my image, okay? I have to know my body frame. I do not have, I come from a family of hips. These women in my family got hips, so I got some, all right? I also have to look at the fact that I am an older person. I'm not in my 30s. I'm not 20, okay? I can't wear what the young kids wear today. I'll look silly, right? And I understand that. I am also that person I'm not trendy, okay? You got to know what's classic and what's trendy. There are differences in that, okay? And that's why I say go out and look at, I tell people all the time, go find pictures. Go on the internet, as we all do. And even if it's a stud online on Facebook that you don't know, but you like their swag, pull a couple of pictures just so you have something to reference. Print them and put them in your notebook. Let's move on. So you need to make some goals. Look at what your image is for 2019. Are you happy with it? And if you are happy, and don't get me wrong, guys, if you are a happy health, like you healthy, you ain't got nothing wrong with you, you not fat, you not obese, you good. You happy with where you are, and you happy with your image, I'm happy for you. But what I want you to think about is, let's take it to the next step. Everything is about growth. Don't stay stagnant. Don't stay stagnant, because as you stay stagnant, you miss stuff. Older people have told me is when you stay stagnant, you miss some blessings. Let's pull that spirituality, see how I'm roping it all back in. So you see how everything intertwines. Everything works together. Let's look at relationship. What do I want you to do with unpacking your relationship? All right, I want you to look at everything, everybody. Make your list of everybody that's in your circle. And when I say, I don't want you to put down people that are associates. I want you to put down people that who have an effect on your opinion, on your viewpoint, and on you, okay? They are in your circle. Now, we all got that one friend that don't bring shit to the table, but take everything from the table. We got friends like that. It's nothing wrong with that, but you got to figure out, is that draining you? How that relationship work? Because we are getting something from that relationship. You know what it is? They probably crack you up. They are good. They're good fun. They're good to be around because they help you relax. When you go out to the club, they get you in. Because they don't ever pay. You don't ever know what they do for a living. All right. You never ask them to help you, so they don't ever know that you need help. They just the fun person in the room. Okay. Look at all your relationships. Look at your relationship with your partner. Right. Do not get into a relationship with an individual just because the sex is good and you love them. Okay. Or you're in love with them. There's a catch to all of this. Listen to the verbiage. If you're in love, you love, or the sex is good, that's not really truly a reason to say we need to live together. We still can be girlfriend. You still my girlfriend. We still in a relationship, but where are we in this relationship? We as lesbians are so quick to say, I love you, move in. You see where I'm going? So you got to be mindful of, are you ready? Are you ready to be in a true relationship. And please understand, we're going to talk about it in a more depth conversation. And I'm bring some experts to the table when it comes to that, when it comes to studs and relationships. And we are going to get the viewpoint of a femme. I am going to bring a femme to the table because I think that sometimes we need to hear where they are. You know what I'm saying? Because no, our viewpoints aren't the same. And I can testify to that because I will think everything is okay in my relationship. My girlfriend is hot tamale with me, and I don't realize it. Okay, so we are going to have that conversation, but you need to realize that. So you also, but the other thing you need to realize, disrespected in any format, and are you being disrespectful? Need to think about January 1st, 2019 to today and say to yourself, what kind of relationship am I in with the person that I say I love? Did you cheat on her? Do you cheat on her? Do you want to cheat on her? Is she cheating on you? Has she cheated on you? Will she cheat on you? Okay? Are you getting what you need from the relationship? What does that mean? I'm talking about love language. When you get a moment, I want you to Google love language. And I want you to take the test. And I want you to print it out. And I want you to do what with it? Put it in your notebook. Why do I keep saying this? Because these are things that are going to define and reinvent and help you pack your parachute for 2020. All right? That's the first thing you need to do is understand what you need in a relationship, because what you need might not be the same, okay? In your relationship, you got to make sure that you're not being verbally abused. Domestic violence is serious, and we don't ever think it's serious because she didn't slap me. She didn't beat my ass, and I didn't beat her ass. I didn't slap her. I didn't put no marks on her. I ain't hurt her feeling. I ain't hurt her. So apparently, it ain't domestic violence. It is. If she calls you a bitch, a hoe, anything derogatory, and it ain't a joke, and I'm not sure how much you joke about things of that nature, that I can't say that's what you need to analyze in your relationship. Is that funny when she call you a bitch? I don't know. For me, no, that's not funny. I don't find that to be a hootenanny at all. So for me, I would say to you, look at those things. Look at the language that you all have. As I was saying about the love language, I am an affectionate person. I want to touch. I want to cuddle. I want to feel. I want to kiss. I want to hold you. Yes, I'm very much on that level. I'm not was told by my girlfriend, not romantic. But I always thought I was. But I'm really not. But in my love language, I need those things back. I need a girlfriend that is going to hold me, going to touch me, going to mwah, 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 I love you. I need those things. My girlfriend is not, she doesn't need those things on that level. She needs them, but not how I need it. That's how you need to know. That's why I say go to Google love language, take the test. Print it out, put it in your notebook so you know how to pack that your parachute to prepare you for the things that you need in this particular relationship with that woman, okay? If you are single, and you wondering, why am I single? We about to find out when we do all of this. Because, see, there's something that you don't have that you need. There's something that you need that you have that you don't need. There are times in your life, and I believe, here we go with the spirituality piece, because it weaves in every single part of this. Every single part comes in. First of all, if you're not healthy, then guess what? Who gonna love you, right? You're unhealthy. If you don't have the image that you feel you need to project on who you are, who gonna love you? And that means that you missing that particular relationship. You might have all kinds of friends, but you ain't got that one special woman that you look at her and you see yourself in her eyes. Okay? So when we go into the relationship aspect or series of this packing our parachute, please note, I'm bringing an expert to the table to help you with that. All right? Let's look at your career. Some of you all are gonna say, oh, I got a job. And that's fine. What I want you to look at is from January of the beginning of this year to now, you and your job, what's the future of that job and you being in it? Can you up it and make it a career? Are you able to grow in it? Are you happy with it? You know, some people get up and they love going to their job because they love what they do. You know how many people that is? It's probably about six people. And I mean this, I'm talking about in the world. 6 people that love what they do. They go to that job, they go, oh, I love my job. I'm just exaggerating, I'm sure it's more. But what I'm getting to is that many of us have that job because we have no other choice. We need to pay our bills, right? Now, I didn't add stress to you. I felt everybody's stress level just go up. I'm going to bring it back down because here's what I want you to look at. I used to be in a job that I hated. Hated the job. I did great at the job, okay? I got promoted. I got bonuses. I love the money, but I hated the job. I get it every day and have to do the pep. Have to give myself pep talk. You can do this. You got this. And you know what else I would say? You got this because it allows you to do what you really love doing. If I wanted to go camping, I could go camp. If I wanted to go out of town, I could go out of town. If I wanted a certain kind of car, I could have that kind of car. If I wanted some kind of place to live, certain area I wanted to live in, I could. If I wanted to shop a certain way, go to a certain store, I could. That's what this job allowed me to do, okay? It also allowed me to develop the actual career that I wanted, okay, and that I want. It opened my eyes to let me know I want to be a nonprofit. It wasn't a nonprofit job that I was in, but it allowed me to know that's where my passion lies. So, why do I say all this to you? I say this because what I want you to do is look at what you're doing. Now, if you're in your career and you go, oh, I love my career, then by all means, I am happy for you. If you love your relationship, if you love your image and you got good health, you living healthy, then this does not mean go ahead and exit this particular podcast. No, it does not. Still, you got to unpack your parachute. You still need to look at where you are because you still need to be able to grow. Don't ever stay what's the word I want to say? Don't ever stay complacent to where you are. You always want to grow. You always want to take yourself to the next level. It is where you want to be. Always, okay? Always remember that. It's all about growth. So as we look at our jobs and our careers, what's the next step? Some of you all are going to say the next step, I'm at where I love to be, but the next step requires me to go back to school. What's wrong with that? I'll wait for that. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. That's wonderful. Start looking at that. Is that what you want, though? It's all about what you want. The next step, you might say, because if I take the class and I go and I move up in my career, I'm going to make, $160,000 a year. I want that. Motivation, whatever motivates you, that's what you're going to put down on your list. And you're going to put these things down, and eventually, each time we meet, each time we talk about that particular area, we're going to develop those goals. The big goal, we're going to break it down. Because we all, at the end of the day, I'm letting you know what kind of person you really are. As a human being in 2019, in this society, it's instant gratification, baby. That's what you want. For those of you who eat right, you want to, when you start, let's say, losing weight, you get on this diet that you on Weight Watchers or whatever it is you on, Nutrisystem, whatever you try to do, you want instant gratification. So when you lose 10 pounds, you like, yes, I done did some shit. No, you haven't. I'm sorry to bust that bubble, guys, but I'm going to tell you why at the next time we talk about health. There's a reason why you only lose a certain amount of weight and then you plateau or you stuck. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to help you. It's not a problem. I'm going to bring an expert on my line, on that particular podcast to let you know what's going on and how to help you, okay? So let's go from career. Make that career, put that list down, analyze where you are. What is your passion? Some of us do what we do just because of the money, and we don't even know what we're passionate about, okay? Some of you are passionate about a lot of things, and that's why you volunteer. That's why you're involved in outside things. By all means, look at it all, okay? All right? Now, let's look at your spirituality. We've kind of touched on it throughout the other entities, other areas, but we're really going to talk about it today, or for a moment, get you prepared as you unpack spirituality. As you unpack spirituality, I want you to do a couple of things. I want you to really look at it. It is not about your religious beliefs. Do you understand? Your spirituality and your religious beliefs in my world, as I am giving you my view, as once again, this is through the eyes of this stud, they're separate, okay? Your spirituality is one thing. Your religious beliefs is a whole nother thing. That's how I see things. Now, my spirituality does not work for anybody but Amber Moore. Okay, so your spirituality is just going to work for you. That's why I say it's very different from your religious beliefs. Because religious beliefs, there's a lot of people who believe what you believe, right? You go to church with them every Sunday. They believe exactly the same. That's why y'all go to the same church, because y'all believe the same thing. But your spirituality is very much your spirituality. And so when I say that, I mean that in the fact that I can only tell you mine. I can't tell you yours because it's not going to be the same. It's different. So what you have to do is you have to look at, it's different from your blessings, but you need to look at your spirituality. So whatever entity you rocking with, that's going to help you develop and look at your spirituality, okay? Today's society, I'm telling you, spirituality should be number one on your list to develop and cleanse and get ready. So spirituality, look at your spirituality. Look at where you've come this year, because you've done some milestones that you didn't even know weren't even on your list. But guess what? You've made some movements that you weren't even aware of. Okay? So I want you to really think about that. I want you to really work through that. I want you to really put that down on your paper in your notebook, okay? Find your favorite spiritual song that's gonna motivate you, right? A lot of times I think I listen to The Battle Ain't Yours or Ain't Mine. I know it's with Yolanda Adams. So I listen to that because it means something to me. When I really don't want to let go of something and give it to God, or I give it to him and I take it back, I give it to him, I take it back, I have to sit back. I have to sit in it, first of all. You got to sit in all of this. And that's why what I'm going to tell you is that you are creating a list of your bad, your good, and your ugly. And now I want you to sit in it. Each one of those elements you got to sit in. That's why I say find your spiritual song, okay? So what are you supposed to do with everything that I've told you about today and everything I've talked about? Well, I got a plan. Before the next show, I want you to truly take everything that I've said and unpack your parachute. Make you a list of each category. You can do it each page. Do a page for each. And what I want you to look at is I want you to look at the health, image, relationships, career, and spirituality. If you need more than one page, then you set that up the way you need to set it up. But you need to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. And be honest. 175% be honest. Because if you are not honest with yourself, then you will never grow. And I want you to look at this like you are a plant. And you're growing, but are you growing weeds or are you growing fruit? Interesting thing I just said. I want you to ponder on that. Are you just producing? Are you just a stick in the ground and you producing weeds around you? Okay, or are you producing other people's fruit and your tree ain't got no fruit at all? That's what you need to look at. If you do not sit in the truth and the honesty, the bad, the good, and the ugly of your health, of your image, of your relationship, of your career, of your spirituality, then guess what? All of this will never work. You will forever be making New Year resolutions that you never complete, that you never ever meet. And that's what we don't want. We want to stop that right now. Now, for 2019 going forward, we're not going to keep doing this where we make a list and we don't meet none of those goals, or we barely meet them and then we fall off because the motivation ain't there, or because some shit done happen in our lives and we ain't got time. You're going to make the time. I had a bruh tell me, make the time for you. Take the time for you. Love the time for you. All right? So I'm giving you that. So, and again, everything that I'm talking about, I'm going to be doing with you. So this is a process where you're going to see how I grow, what I recognize about myself, because I'm going to be honest on here about the things that I feel that hit every one of these subjects. I'm going to let you all know where I am and what I'm doing. And maybe some of this will help you. Again, this is about through the eyes of a stud. This stud, okay? So my opinions you might not agree with. My viewpoints you might not agree with. The subject matter you might not agree with. And that is wonderful and okay, because that means it gives you something to think about. It gives you an opportunity to develop why you don't agree, why you don't see it the way I do. What do you see? It gives you an opportunity to build your own opinion and viewpoint. And I want to hear it. Before I leave you, I'm going to tell you a quick story that helped me to understand what this process is all about. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but his name is Willie Moore Jr. I have not figured out if this gentleman is a comedian or if he's a pastor that's super, super funny. Okay? Not sure, but either way, I've watched several of his videos, and I have listened to him, and he is, in my words, he's a hoot. But he leaves me something to think about. So he had this one story that I think you will understand what I'm trying to help you achieve as well. He said he was at his home, his wife was gone, his son was upstairs playing a video game, and he was going to lay down before his wife got home. So he was, relaxing, kind of chilling, and he kept hearing this, oh man. And so he went and said, son, what's going on? So the son was like, Dad, I keep getting to this one board, I can't get out of it. So Willie said, look, son, I need you to just be a little quieter if you don't mind. I'm trying to rest my eyes before your mother gets home, right? So the son said, okay, Dad. So he went back downstairs, laid down, relaxing and stuff, chilling. And about 10 minutes later, he heard it again. Oh, man. So he went, he said, son, I thought we talked about this. So the son says, Dad, I just can't get past this board. Will you watch? So Dad said, okay. So Willie said, I'll sit down with you. So he sat there and he watched him, and his son got stuck again. And he lost, right? So he had to redo the board. So the son said, figured it out, Dad. I know what we gotta do. So Willie said, what is it that we gotta do? So the son said, we gotta go to Walmart. Willie said, we do? He said, yeah, we gotta go to Walmart. Gotta go to Walmart because this Captain America I'm playing with, and I need to go get Iron Man. So Willie said, He said, there's a teaching moment in this. Okay, we can go to Walmart, but we don't go to Walmart just willy-nilly. You have to earn the money for us to go to Walmart. So the son said, okay, what do I have to do? So Willie gave him a list of stuff he needed to do. The son did it. They went to Walmart. They got the Iron Man. So then he said, okay, son, you good? He said, yeah. So he said, I'm going to go downstairs and rest. You got this? He said, yeah, Dad, I'm good. So Willie went downstairs. He said about maybe 10 minutes later, he heard all this hooping and hollering and celebrating and everything. So he said, what the heck? So he went upstairs. He said, son, what is going on? What happened? He said, Dad, that's what I needed. I needed to change my character to advance to the next step, to complete this board and to go to the next phase. So Willie thought he was creating a teaching moment by teaching his son responsibility of how you want something, you got to earn it, right? But then he realized that it's actually bigger than what he thought the teaching moment actually was. So in essence, I tell you this story because here's what I got from it, and this is what I believe Willie was trying to teach us by telling us the story. It is that we have to look at the character that we're in. And this is not taking away your character, it is the concept of a character. So think about who you were when you were in your 20s. You're not the same person that you are in your 30s because you had to change characters. Okay? You had to develop to be something new, right? You had to take who you were, the things that you did in your 20s. You said, I can't do that. I need to upgrade. As many people say, I got to move up a level, get on another level, right? What it also taught me was that don't be afraid to change your character to get to the next level. Once you identify the next level or the board that you're on, and you realize that to complete that board, so to speak, or to complete that phase, to be successful at what you need to be successful at, whether it is your health, your image, your relationship, your career, or your spirituality, once you realize that, you might need to change your character. And that's what I leave with you today. Just ponder on that. Think about that. So we're going to do the next step in our Unpacking Our Parachute is to review this and then talk about truly preparing for the next step of packing our parachute. And the way I would like to do that is we're going to start with health. And so I will be bringing a professional on, and it will be a masculine to give you some viewpoints and to help you with not losing weight, but healthy living. All right? Mindset. We're changing our mindset. We're going to change our language. We're going to put some verbs in our sentences now, and we're going to change our mindset, which is going to do what? All of it's going to wrap around in all 5 of those areas, but at the end of the day, it's going to change your character so that you, as Willie's son did, can complete the board that you're on so that you can uplift yourself to the next level. And that doesn't mean that you have a horrible life. It doesn't mean that you got issues. It doesn't mean that you could be living wonderful. But I want you to move to the next level, or I want you to see what the next level has in store for you. All right? Before I say goodbye, I do want to let you know that I want to hear your ideas, topics that you want us to talk about, and I want to let you know how to get in touch with me to do that. You can email me at realboystalk@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook. It's facebook.com/studhealth. Or you're more than welcome to come to our website, which is realboystalk.org. Again, my name is Amber Moore. I am your host, and this is Real Boys Talk.